Hey guys, welcome to the Learn Feng Shui podcast, where you'll learn Feng Shui from a classical point of view, taking out the myth and superstition. So if you're interested in learning Feng Shui, Chinese astrology, all things Chinese metaphysics, as well as the superstitions and myths that connect it all, you'll enjoy learning Feng Shui with me. Hey guys, welcome to today's energy update for August, month of the water monkey. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. I'm Candice Berlinga, your certified Feng Shui practitioner and a red ribbon professional with the International Feng Shui Guild. August 6th does start the month of the water monkey. So August 6th through the 22nd is that first solar cycle of energy that governs the first 15 days of the month, and it's called Coming of Autumn. It does coincide closely with the pagan wheel of the year and the observance of Lammas or Lunasa, which does mark the halfway point between the summer solstice and the fall equinox. It also celebrates the first grain harvest of the season. It's usually celebrated by baking bread. And around August 22nd or so through September 6th, this is a cycle called heat ends. And during this time, nature does slow down a little bit. Usually there's new growth of grass and stuff like that, except for some cooler blooming weather plants like our lettuces and our cabbages. We can start planting those right now to be able to harvest them when the weather gets cooler. We also see a little bit cooler nighttime temps. A couple things happen during the month to note here. One of them is called Double 7 Day, usually occurring around the 14th or so of the month. It's the 7th day of the 7th lunar month. Remember, the calendar is just a little bit off from the traditional Gregorian calendar we use, and this is known as Chinese Valentine's Day. Also, during the month of August, we do see something called a ghost month. And this is a month we need to kind of be cautious of travel because accidents and travel related accidents usually occur most in August for some reason. And of course, it is said to be a time, at least according to like Taoist traditions, where the veil between the worlds is thinner and ghosts are able to be seen. And of course, there's a veneration of ancestors during what is called the Hungry Ghost Festival. And staying healthy during this time, still eating cooling foods because, of course, those temperatures are still scorching. We're in those dog days of summer where the days are super hot, but the evenings might be a tad bit cooler, which is kind of nice. We'll also see almost an imperceptible change in the amount of daylight. And you'll notice that maybe the sun sets a little bit sooner than it had been during the summertime, especially at the peak, right at the summer solstice. We're also going to want to start eating nutrient dense foods that will promote good health during the winter. So lots of nutrient dense vegetables, salads, stuff like that. And you can start eating just a tad bit heavier. It said it's a good time to start putting on a little bit of extra weight to insulate you for the winter time. And looking into the energy of the water monkey. So this month can be a little bit more stagnant than usual. Usually the month of August is known as the ghost month. And again, echoing on what I said earlier, it's just kind of this belief that the veil is thinner between the worlds of the living and the dead, kind of like we believe on Halloween or the Mexican tradition of Dia de los Muertos. So again, it's believed to be a time where deceased loved ones come to visit, and it is a time to pay tribute to your ancestors if you so wish to do so. The representation in Chinese metaphysics for the month of August is one called stagnancy. It really just kind of represents a stagnant energy. It's kind of a time where the energy is really just a little bit unmoving. And so we do tend to feel this with the weather. Even though the mornings might be a little cooler, the days are pretty much unrelenting. We may also feel that things are a little bit stagnant in our life, maybe a little bit of at a standstill. We can kind of break up the stagnant energy in our homes by clearing energy out. Of course, from learnfengshui.com, here in my newsletter is everything I'm covering on this week's episode. Page number 2 here, clearing the energy in our home. So sometimes we can just feel stagnant and we just tend to overlook the energy in our home. We overlook our clutter. We just kind of become blind to it. So creating that movement in our space can help us improve the feeling and help us feel like things are moving. Remember, there is a connection between visual clutter and stress and anxiety. If you're feeling that stress and anxiety, you're going to want to just declutter a few things. So it's just as simple as that. And of course, just starting small, focusing on one little area can get us motivated to do more stuff. Tidying one drawer, organizing one drawer, cabinet, or even just a small section of the room, like one dresser, can really help us get things going. And it really only takes a few minutes a day. So you don't have to carve out a large portion of your day to declutter or anything like that. It really is as simple as like, oh, let me clean off my desk before I get to working, right? Or let me clean out this one drawer while I'm digging for a fork. Let me organize the silverware drawer. So it can be something as simple as that. And space clearing, of course, burning sage, incense, performing clearing rituals, opening your windows, that can help move the energy along. And then the my feng shui focus really is this north sector of the home. Remember, the rat resides in that north sector there, specifically in North 2, if you know where that's at. If you don't, just focus on the north, you know. But remember, the rat, it does combine with the monkey and the dragon. Remember, it's a monkey month and it's a dragon year. So that rat can help complete that trinity of zodiac animals, and it creates the element of water, which does represent like movement, things going, just really that motion. If you think about it, water is never still, it's always moving somewhere. And so it really can help create that dynamic energy that really pushes things along. You can use that part of your home to work, or you can place moving objects there like a fan. I don't really recommend small tabletop fountains, but I think for just one, 1 month is fine. Make sure you take it down before September 6th or so. Just anything that kind of moves. And some people like those moving tchotchkes that you can get, or even placing a little radio there and having it on really low sound can also activate the energy of the north. And remember, the north, just for the whole year, does have a pretty good energy. And with that 5-star moving out for the month, the 4 moves in, and it really does help promote the energy of learning. That brings me to my next topic, learning something new. So remember that, maybe your home's in order and you don't really feel like anything needs to be decluttered, or you don't feel like the energy is necessarily stagnant in your home, but maybe your personal energy is stagnant and you just feel unmotivated or tired or whatever. You can get our personal energy moving too. Remember, the monkey is one of the 4 zodiac signs that does represent growth, travel, and movement. So instead of focusing on our home, you can focus on our personal energy to get things moving and gain motivation by taking some action. And here I just put you could learn a new subject or skill, since a month does support learning. And again, you can use your north sector for that. Traveling. So, traveling and experiencing new things does help you get a new perspective if you think about it. No matter where you travel to, even if it's just the town over, you may discover something you never knew about your region. So, it doesn't have to be far travel, but just that motion, movement, and travel can help you feel more motivated and, again, just get a different perspective, learn something new. Taking up a new hobby, focusing on refining skills in a current hobby could also be something. It doesn't have to be a whole new thing, but just focus on kind of refining or honing in and perfecting that skill. Helps you get to moving and moving your body. So, just a small amount of exercise and light stretching is always beneficial. Just light yoga, get up and just touch your toes, stretch your arms out. It's good for our heart health. Take a short, small walk. Doesn't have to be strenuous. A nice, slow walk is good for your blood pressure. This month, just focus on movement and maybe learning something new. All right, guys, the Zodiac forecast from learnfengshui.com. Don't forget to check out that newsletter that does have all the information I'm reading here today, and it makes it easy for you to reference and go back to. Okay? The Zodiac forecast for the month. The energy will impact you depending on where it falls in your natal chart. So remember, you have 4 zodiac signs, one for the year, month, day, and even hour you're born. You can go to the website in the link tree below. You can go and calculate out your zodiac signs by just putting your birthday in. And you can put them in without the hour if that hour is unknown. Most people don't readily know that. Your year of birth does represent your friend group, social circle, and the community around you. So that's the area that will impact if your sign is there. The month does represent your career and your parental relationships. The day represents your health, romantic relationships, and even the way you view yourself. The hour does represent your children's thoughts, emotions, feelings, and your subordinates if you are a boss or have people underneath you if you're in management. And so that is the area that it can possibly impact. And remember, not every zodiac sign does have a interaction with the monkey. If I don't mention it, it's because these are only the zodiac signs that are most impacted by the energy of the monkey. And the other ones don't necessarily have too much of an interaction. Starting off with the monkey. That is the Grand Duke for the month. That means that is the energy that governs the month. So again, it's the month of the monkey. So if this is in your zodiac chart, you can look to the Shinsha stars for the year to see where to focus your attention. There's a couple things you want to be careful of. I know earlier I mentioned traveling, but if you have a monkey in your zodiac, you might want to be cautious of traveling because of the earth killing Shaw. That doesn't mean you're going to die or anything, but it does mean that there are possible factors you might not be able to anticipate when you're traveling, like an earthquake or some kind of unexpected thing that may happen, not necessarily to you, but in terms of the actual earth or the ground itself. It could be some sort of weather related phenomena that we can't necessarily control or even sometimes predict. And of course, we know this year has been an uptick in earthquakes for some reason. Even here in Texas, there was an earthquake reported, which is typically unusual, very strange. Another one you want to look for is the three stages star. This does represent advancement and reaching an audience. Being in the public eye can be beneficial and bring you recognition this month. So if you do social media stuff, it might be a month where you're able to go viral. Maybe you're able to get a little bit more attention. Make sure your content's good and you may be in the public eye a little bit more. Five of Ghosts does represent distractions, so staying focused. And again, it could also mean a little bit of pettiness from people around you, as combined with the backpoking star, which does represent slander, gossip, and it may find its way to you this month. So take things with a grain of salt. Don't engage in work politics. Don't be believing everything you hear this month. And if you're the one that is being gossiped about, just let it go. Remember, as with all things in life, rumors blow over, attention will get shifted to the next thing. Let it go. Next is the seasonal combination. So this occurs with the rooster and dog when it combines with the monkey. These are the zodiac signs that make up the season of autumn. Remember, the monkey does start the fall season. This does have the potential to make you very strong and show wealth opportunity. And you can use energy to make connections and network with other in your fields and collaborate. It does help you also focus, organize, and structure your work and help you put business systems in place, as well as just some general organizing. If you feel like you've been needing to organize some things this month, maybe you need to refile, maybe you need to organize some area of your home, then you can put the energy into that. You can also put this energy to work by just doing some organization within your home, like we talked about earlier. Next is the rat, and it does combine with monkey and dragon. Remember, it is a dragon year and a monkey month. So if you have a rat, you will have a 3 harmony combination. And this does have the energy to get things moving. Again, it creates that energy to help you get unstuck. It also helps with communication and learning. You can use it to showcase your experience in your field. If you have a performance review coming up, you can really use it to say, hey, look what I've been doing. You can also apply learned skills to gain some experience. And of course, the traveling. But again, just be cautious when traveling because you could come up with some unexpected weather. Maybe stay a little bit closer to home. You might even find yourself taking a work or a training trip that may be in your future if you are a rat, monkey, or a dragon. The snake. So if you have a snake in your zodiac, you do combine with a monkey to make a combination, usually known as a secret friend or a combo of 6. This does, again, kind of give that same type of energy. It's that communication, it's the movement, it's the fast results. So, focusing on work can be productive for you. It does, again, just bring quick changes. Travel, just like that 3 harmony combination, use energy to travel for work or find an opportunity to travel that may come up for you, maybe even unexpectedly. And do be aware of wasting your time and make sure you streamline your work. Sometimes a monkey snake combination, although it's a combination, does form a little bit of what is called a punishment or a harm. And again, that just comes in the form of wasting time, kind of diddling around, not really being proactive. Make sure you streamline your work and just get it done this month. If you have a tiger, you do have a clash for the month of August. Remember, during this clashing energy, you can use this opposing energy to make a change in your life. So it's really good if you feel like you need to quit smoking, end a toxic relationship, file for divorce, like you've been sitting on the edge for months and you just time for you to file. It's file for divorce, make a change in your life, maybe even moving. moving careers, starting a new field of study, anything that creates a change in your life does take a proactive approach, and it kind of takes away that clashing energy and it puts you in charge of it, if that makes sense. Be aware of who you are around this month. Tiger monkey clash is the kind of energy that warns us to not help out the wrong people. So if you offer assistance, make sure you do it out of the kindness of your own heart and expect nothing in return. And if you loan out money, you just might not get paid back, guys. Be cautious of doing that kind of loaning this month or helping out the wrong kind of person. I know sometimes we tend to feel sorry for somebody or want to help somebody. If you do, just do it out of the kindness of your heart and don't expect anything returned. Don't expect to get paid back and don't even expect the person to be grateful. That's kind of how the energy impacts you for the month. Moving on now to the feng shui aspect of the month, looking at flying stars, best and worst sectors. Starting with best sectors, the east, the north, and the northwest are going to be your best bet for the month. Starting in wall 1, the north, flying star number 4, the academy star goes there. And it does represent opportunity, steady progress, plans falling into place. Wall ones can maybe look for work related training or wealth money making opportunities may present themselves, maybe even an investment opportunity. And it would be good for pretty much everybody to take the time to learn something new, like we talked about earlier, and use the north sector to do so. And you can enhance it by working in the sector, studying movement, fan, or water activation. And that is the north sector. Going to the east, flying star number 6, known as the luck star. The energy there is good to help anyone who is in management or a leadership position. The combo does indicate power and authority. If you are a manager, if you have a downline, it's good for you to use the east sector this month. If you're a Gua 3, take things a little bit slow and do let go of petty disputes that can turn into a bigger issue. So that's the caution there. But working in the sector and a fan activation or movement can activate the area and help you take advantage of that energy. Anybody could do that. You don't just have to be a Gua 3. Flying star number 8 does go to the center, and the center, according to my style of feng shui, is the area you can't really activate, just kind of according to what style you practice. The center does dictate where the flying stars go, and it's kind of known as the boss. The 8 well star does go here, giving us a collective energy of putting in a lot of work and effort. Be careful about being busy this month or focusing on the wrong area or thing in life. Sometimes we tend to get busy, but busy doesn't necessarily make us more productive. Careful with that this month. Flying star number 9, the spiritual and happiness star, does go to the northwest. Gua 6. The 9 star does visit the northwest, enhancing the energy that supports organization and focus. Use the sector to tackle tasks you need to get done. Maybe there's some busy work or some admin work that you need to get done that you haven't really wanted to sit down with. Put your computer there or use your iPad there and just get the work done. Gua 6, do be ready to accept or ask for help from others this month. Sometimes difficult situations arise, but you can turn it around if you act pretty quickly. And you can just enhance it by working in the sector. Now going on to the challenging sectors for the month. Here we have the southeast, south, southwest, west, and the northeast. We do have some challenging sectors here. You don't necessarily have to cure all of these flying stars, but you might want to consider it if you spend a lot of time in a sector, if your front door is there, if your work desk or office is in that sector, if it's in your kitchen or your bedroom. Starting with Gua number 9, the south, flying star number 3, or the quarrelsome or argumentative does fall there for the month. And with the year, it can bring disputes due to money. If you're a Gua 9, be diplomatic in your relationships. Remember to remain calm in arguments. If romantic issues occur for you, be sure to humble yourself and things will kind of go back to normal. Just, practicing some self-awareness is a way to mitigate that. It doesn't necessarily have to be cured, or you don't need to put a cure there. Flying star number 5 is usually the one we like to put some kind of cure, either a salt cure or one of those wooloo gourds. It does go to Gua number 2, the southwest. And remember that flying star 5 is called the disaster star. It doesn't necessarily create disasters, but it can cause some issues. So again, if your front door is located here, or if you have anything in the area that's considered like a Shaw, which are like electric towers, pylons in the Southwest, you might want to just be cautious of a fire related hazard, not anything necessarily to be concerned about, but negative forms, such as these negative features that we kind of talk about in our external environment, can aggravate those flying stars and it could just cause some issues. Be cautious, especially if you smoke. Be careful where you throw your cigarette butts. Just some cautions like that. Taking that precaution can help prevent fires. Goal number 2, do be careful of skin related issues and watch your health. You may be more susceptible to common flu and cold, so do take your immune boosting supplements. You can mitigate it by placing a salt cure, spending less time in the sector, or placing your preferred item or cure. One we usually like to see, but we can't really use this month, is flying star number 1. It's called the Authority Star. It's generally a positive star, but when it joins specific energies, it can't really be used. And the West is just a sector we don't want to use. It does go to Gua 7 in the West. And it does join that yearly 5-star, making it just kind of unusable. So there is an indication of health issues if you have a west facing house or if your bedroom's here. So do be cautious. Gua 7s do need to be cautious more of the kidney related health issues because that flying star number 1, the water star, and it does originate from the north. Remember, in Chinese medicine, that can relate to urinary, kidney, and even womb issues. So do be cautious of those. If you have any concerns, please get those checked out. And you can just mitigate it by keeping the sector quiet, placing a salt cure or your preferred item. Flying star number 2 is known as the illness star that does go to Gua number 8 in the northeast sector. So the energy there kind of shows us obviously the 2 illness star does warn of health issues. So what can it affect? Digestive problems or even headaches, especially for the Gua 8. If your room's not located here or your front door is not located here, not really any issue about that. And you can mitigate that by placing a saltwater cure if your bedroom's there, keeping the sector quiet, or just placing a salt cure or preferred items and cures there for the month. Flying star number 7 is known as legal and dispute star. It does go to Gua 4 in the southeast. And remember, it combines with that yearly star number 2 that's there for the whole entire year. Star 7 falling here does cautious more also health related, but kind of related to what we're eating. So we do have to be cautious of like food prep, especially if your kitchen's here. You're going to want to watch for stomach related illnesses related to like food poisoning type of issues, what you're consuming. Be cautious of that and just keep things healthy there. You can place a saltwater cure if your bedroom's there or keep the sector quiet. If your kitchen's located here, be careful with your food prep and putting away food in a timely manner this month. And no renovation sectors for the month. Areas we want to avoid digging a major renovation in for the year or the month. This does apply only to ground floors of your home or ground level apartments. The energy affects the quote unquote earth and are known as earth shaws. So again, I have this up on the website. There is an entire guide here. We're going to want to avoid renovations pretty much the southeast, the south, and the southwest sectors of your home. We want to avoid renovations in the areas that contain what is called the Grand Duke, which is the Zodiac sign that governs that monthly energy, which is the monkey that does reside in the southwest. And on top of that, it does contain the 5 yellow for the month. Remember that 5 yellow is called the disaster star. So we definitely want to avoid renovations or too much movement where that is at for the month and the year, which brings us to the West. The West does contain the 5 yellow for the entire year. So we're going to avoid renovations. And then we go across here to the northeast sector and the area that is called the Soi Po or the month breaker. And that is where the tiger energy resides. Because remember, it clashes the monkey. You'll avoid renovations on that sector. Also, renovations can be done in some sectors using date and time selection specific to your home. Usually there is a period of time where your home is kind of protected from these energies and you can start renovations safely. Just message me if you need some renovation dates and you're worried about where you're going to be starting. So again, all this information can be found on learnfengshui.com in that monthly newsletter. Do go sign up for emails on the website also, and you'll be notified every time a new blog post or new newsletter goes up. All right, guys. Well, you guys have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you guys next week. This month, we're going to be talking about back to school and just kind of some organizational tips, some things we can do to help that transition be smooth. We'll be doing that next week on the 16th. And on the 23rd, I have kind of a fun episode coming up, a house and property blessings, but looking at what we can do prior to moving in or even building a new building. And the Folklore Friday for that is going to be focus more on some of these ancient rituals and things that were placed inside foundations and rituals that were performed to bless and sanctify areas before people moved in or before the house was even built. I think that'll be a fun, interesting episode. I'll catch you guys next week. Remember to message me if you need help with your floor plan. Remember, I do need a specific degree your home faces, or I need an address so I can look up on Google Maps, and I promise that information is all kept confidential. Go check out those links down below in the show notes, and I'll catch you guys next week.
For a free energy mapping of your floor plan, please check the link in the show notes. To support today's podcast, go to learnfengshui.com, sign up for emails, leave a review, and share with your family and friends.